Hi, my name's Cameron Carlson with AnimeLocation.tv. I'm here with Mr. Juice Lee. How you doing?
Super, thanks for asking.
So how did you get started in the world of hip-hop?
Originally, I was rapping with my brother, and this was when I was 12 years old or something like that. And me and him had a group. After that, I started to do more solo stuff once I turned 18, and I started to get into the local MC battles and things like that with this club called Top Cats. It was a great time. Anyway, so I did that for a few years, and then probably 2006, 2007, I decided to be hey, let me start trying to actually release music and take it a step serious and really be serious. So
alrighty. So it says in your bio that you released three solo albums. How has the fan reaction been to them having 3 solo albums already?
Okay, 3 solo albums. And I'll this is a caveat out there. There's actually 4, but the one I don't count. So we'll say 3. And the 3 albums that I released, the first one was Metanoia. And Metanoia, that was actually a really good response. So I did that one. I got a really good response. I I actually got to perform at Warped Tour with that album. And I got to do a couple of different things with that. So I was still kind of finding myself and trying to figure out what type of sound I wanted to do and where I was, because at that time I was just very counterculture, where I was just everybody's talking about guns, everybody's talking about killing people, and I don't do any of that because the people that go to the club, while they're at the club, I'm just at home playing video games. So that was the thing. So I got a pretty good response from that. Then while I was doing that, promoting that, I released another album, an EP. It was called not Metanoia. It was called The Epic of John Fong. And The Epic of John Fong, a lot of people really love that because John Fong is kind of this rap opera, but it's set in the backdrop of old kung fu movies. Yeah. So you remember the old kung fu movies with bad dubbing and everything like that. So but yeah, I do this narrative over the course of 6 songs, and people really, really love that. And they always ask me about a sequel, and I really want to do a sequel soon. Just trying to get things together, and it's pretty much in the works. So be on the lookout for The Epic of John Fong 2. Hold on, let me do it one more time. The Epic of John Fong 2, Kumite on Denmark Island. Because you got to do it in the 80s voice. So yeah, so everybody loves that. After that, I kind of took a break for a little bit, which was a stupid mistake on my part, and I always admit that, because I just kind of start feeling myself a little bit and then realize, hey, I need to work that much more. But I took a break for a little bit and did some other things, and then maybe about a year or so ago, I released the Reverie. And the Reverie is the latest project, and the Reverie was interesting because it was kind of one of those things where I set it towards kind of a little bit of the backdrop of Final Fantasy, where I was just hey, I want to make this album that is kind of almost like a swan song. You know what I'm saying? So and then everybody really, really loved that, and so I just was I gotta keep going, and I got inspiration from guys like my boy Mega Ran, a guy like Ilpo, a lot of the nerdcore community really embraced me. It was really cool, man. It was really cool to get that response. So yeah, that's kind of how it's been.
Yeah, because we've talked to YT a couple times, so he's been fun to talk to. So it says in your bio that you are part of the Nerdcore, as we were discussing. How did that come about, and what's it like working with all those great guys at all the different conventions like we were talking about?
Man, Shy Guy is awesome. My dude that I love hanging out with is Ben Briggs. Ben Briggs is he's really cool ass dude, man, and he's awesome. Rand is just kind of he's kind of my I shouldn't say this, but he is kind of my litmus test, where I I don't compare myself to him, but it's more of a thing where I look at him and be dude, if you can do this, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's that positive reinforcement. It's that real inspiring type thing where whenever I see him, like, you know, cause I'm a huge Mega Ran fan, it's like a really good thing. So I'm always excited about that. And then, like, you know, everybody else, like Samus, you know, Alpha Riff, you know, so many other people, Tribe One, man, like I said, Professor Shy Guy, and so many other people, man. It's just, and the list goes on. It's crazy. 2D6, they're awesome guys. Yeah, it's nuts.
Alrighty. So you have had the chance to perform at some pretty big events such as Warped Tour and the like. What's it like being there and being on stage? I mean, because when you hear about Warped Tour, you're like, that's a pretty big event.
Warped Tour was crazy. Warped Tour was that was the event that I didn't think like would happen for me, because at the time when I was submitting to like a bunch of festivals and stuff like that, I was just like submitting to everything, just like blah, 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 blah. And what happened was, you know, in submitting to everything, one of the things I did was I submitted to Warped Tour, like, oh, that's not going to happen. I completely forgot about it. Once I completely forgot about it, they sent me you're going to be on Warped Tour on the Kevin Says stage. So it was crazy. So that happened. After that, I got on stage, man, that whole day, because I actually did 2 dates on Warped Tour. I did Cleveland and I did Cincinnati. So, and that was cool in itself. And like both days, it was just, it was great, but it was also hectic. But it was a wonderful experience, man. Like, I would hope that like one day I could get back to going there. Or the ultimate goal for me is to see if I could ever get to South by. You know what I'm saying? If I could ever get to South by Southwest, that'd be wonderful. So, yeah. But that's pretty much what's up on that.
Alrighty. Now, it also says that you work in the VFX industry, which knows like special effects and stuff. What drew you to the side of filmmaking?
Storytelling. Like, I've always wanted to tell stories, and like originally I'll say it like this. Originally I started doing VFX, and like when I started doing VFX, I was like kind of teaching myself and following like the billions of tutorials that are out there. And so after that, like I got to the point where I was just like, I don't know what else I need to do, and plus my computer wasn't fast enough. So I started to get into writing, and this is that break of time where, you know, I stepped away from music and I'm like, I want to do something else, da 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 da. But like I got into writing, and I started writing scripts and ended up writing for a cartoon, ended up like trying to submit like to a comic book company, and all this other stuff happened. But ultimately I ended up getting called back to music. But like with VFX, it was something cool, man. Like I wanted to do it, but like I felt like the level that those guys were on, like there was so many guys that were ahead of me. I was like, okay, I could do this, but I also want to do music. So I start saying like, okay, why don't I combine like the stuff that I already know with VFX into my music, and, you know, started kind of working that way. You know what I'm saying? And like just took everything I learned from that and then just start applying it to my music and start cranking out more music and just trying to like, you know, brainstorm and do different videos and things like that. So that was kind of the thing that I ended up doing.
Alrighty. So it also says that you're a huge fan of comic books and RPGs. What are some of your favorites? Like we heard a couple of them in your songs about Legend of Zelda, Final Fantasy, like stuff like that.
Comic, as far as like, I'll do the RPGs first. RPGs, Final Fantasy is always gonna have like a huge place in my heart. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's always gonna have a huge place, even though I'll be honest with you, I'm really on the fence about like Final Fantasy 15, like because it's like it should be titled Final Fantasy 15 Square. This is your last chance. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, because think about it, is it's like so much stuff like, you know, with 13, like we didn't need 3 Final Fantasy 13s. You know what I mean? One was okay, and one was a little. That first Final Fantasy 13 was a little. But you know, like that was Final Fantasy is always gonna have a huge. It's gonna be near and dear to me just because of 6, 7, you know, 9, 10. All of those games, they were just incredible games, incredible worlds. Even the world of 12, like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't like 12, but even the world of Final Fantasy 12 was awesome. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But yeah, RPGs, that's a big thing. I got into Mass Effect. Like Mass Effect, it like I was just completely blown away by like the Mass Effect world. And like, you know, something that's an unpopular opinion is I personally wasn't bothered by the ending of Mass Effect 3.
No, because it gave you that player choice.
Yeah.
Which is like a big deal.
Yeah.
See, I played them all 3 back to back.
Yeah.
One go.
Yeah.
Without taking breaks.
Yeah.
So you're like, I got a huge story and I'm gonna keep on trucking.
Yeah.
And of course, like when you know, new mechanics and stuff like that, so it makes it even different. And then, so you said that was a big deal.
Yeah.
What about the comics? Like, what do you like about
comics? As far as comics go, I mean, I'm always a story-driven guy, but like, comics is always a wonderful narrative in the sense that like you have a lot of characters that like people do different takes on it that are really interesting. Like I really like obviously like even though he's very popular now, like I like Deadpool, but like the thing about Deadpool is I think Deadpool's best stories are when he like cuts the jokes and he like gets really serious, because for a guy that screwed up, like it gets real like trippy and it's really weird and like introspective and it's really cool to like see that, like, you know, for anybody that's out there that is a Deadpool fan or you haven't picked up a Deadpool book, like I really suggest you pick up The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's a definitive
that story like messed with me. Like, wow, this is crazy. You're like digging into, and like that's one of those things that like I know we're doing the Deadpool movie and we're gonna get a lot of the zaniness and the Cable and Deadpool thing, but like I would really love to see that adapted into a movie. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, like aside from that, you know, like I got other characters. I'm always a fan of like more intelligent characters, like the Spider-Man characters, Batman characters, where they use their minds. Like for all of the cool stuff that they have or the cool stuff that they can do, they use their minds and they're more resourceful. Like especially Spider-Man. You know what I mean? So, and that was one thing. Like even with the Spider-Man movie, like the most recent Spider-Man movie, as much as I didn't like that movie, it was really cool to see Spider-Man actually use science. Right. It was actually cool to see him be resourceful. And, you know, the swinging sequences in that movie were bar none of the best like that have ever been on film so far. We'll see what Marvel does, and then that's it. That guy, Tales of Symphonia. Yeah. Yeah, so, but, yeah, so, anyway. But no, like as far as comics go, man, like I'm always a huge comic person, man. Like I do actually a weekly comic book rap recap series on my YouTube channel. It's called Mike Issues, where I'll like rap about like comics during the week, like that came out that week or the week before, and it's actually pretty cool. So, but yeah, that's yeah.
Alrighty, and how does it feel to be the first time coming to Animatic Con and the causes that they support and partnered with?
Man, like Animatic Con has been like awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been like really really honored and like really, you know, just kind of blessed that like, you know, Animatic Con, like they had me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, yes, this is awesome. So I hope they have me back next year. I'm hoping that by next year, you know, I can do more stuff. I can do more cool stuff and then like have more people be like, hey, it's Juice Lee, blah, 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 blah. And then, you know, that would be nice. That would be exciting. So we'll see what happens.
Alrighty, and now is there any way fans can keep up with you online, like Facebook, so on and so forth?
At Juice Lee on Twitter, Facebook.com/Juice Lee, YouTube.com/JuiceLee777SSJ, the website JUIbrand.com, which is going to be more of a centralized thing, is something that should be up probably in the next week. I don't know how quick you're going to upload this interview, so but yeah, it should be up in like the next week or so because more shows are coming up and I can't exactly sell a shirt that says JUIbrand.com and then there's no site there. Yeah. So that's the thing. But yeah, that's pretty much the places you can find me. I'm periodically like tweeting and saying random stuff, so that's what's up.
All right, and a final message for all your fans.
Drink your Ovaltine. No, seriously. I don't know. Send more paramedics. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of random stuff. But no, like, other than thank you for your support, man. Like, you know, that's what's up. And I don't know, Wordle.
All right, thanks so much for talking with us, Juice. It's been a pleasure, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you.